Welcome to Aurora Airwaves, I should say. I'm so happy to have you. You're one of the first people that I wanted to reach out to, and just, I know you'd be incredible to have a deep dive conversation with creativity and lifestyle and taking care of yourself. You've been such a luminary for me, just seeing
Hmm.
everything you've been doing on social media and through Keith. And, it's just been incredible seeing your journey. And so I feel like people need to hear and see a lot of what you've been working on and what you've been up to. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Sarah, obviously, you know that. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of creative work over the last like 20 years, right? Almost 20 years, 15, 20 years. I started as an actor. Like that was kind of my big creative, like what I wanted to do growing up, singing, acting, performing. And so I moved from Northern California to LA when I was 18, went to college down here, and was really lucky to sign with a pretty good agent that got me a lot of work doing mostly commercial stuff, doing voiceovers, things like that. But as time went on, I always found that I'm just a very multi-passionate person, right? Like I love writing, I love singing, I love photography, I love art. I just love all of these things. And I
And you're
just
great at
felt
it all. That's the
thank
other
you.
thing.
I honestly, the thing is, it's like when I get focused on something, I get like hyper focused on it and I try to really like do it and learn everything I can about it. Like I love learning. And so I've done all of these things, right? And I think it was during COVID 2020 where I was still figuring out like, okay, am I doing voiceover? Am I doing acting? Am I doing photography? How am I going to support myself as an artist, like financially, and also
Mhm.
maintain that like artistic integrity, right? Because I think that's really difficult to do too. And I was also my boyfriend Keith. Is how we met, but he is an artist's artist, right? He is an
Mhm.
actor, and when I met him, I realized, oh my gosh, like that passion and that fire that he has, I don't have that for acting. I don't have that for voiceover. I don't have
Mm.
that for these things that I'm doing. And I want that. Like whatever it is that like lights a fire under him and makes him so excited and it's like his soul's purpose. That's what I want for me. And so I kind of started this journey. I think that would have been back in 2018. I started this journey of figuring out what is my that? Like what is my reason for being here and like my what is my life's purpose really, which were some big questions
Wow.
to try and figure out and to try and grapple with and tell myself like okay, well if it's not acting, like I've been doing this for so long, am I really okay with walking away from something that I have spent so much time in, that my parents have made so many sacrifices for, that
Did
like
you
I've said
study
I've wanted
acting?
to. I
Is that what you
did,
did
I
in
did,
college?
yeah. So when I was a child, did a school called John Robert Powers. I don't know if you know about it, but it
No, I
is
don't.
kind of one
Tell
of
me.
those. Okay, well, if anyone knows
Performing
about
arts
it,
school?
they'll it's this school that kind of pops up in all of these different cities, right? Where you don't have acting opportunities. So I'm from a
Oh.
place near Sacramento, and so there's not really much acting going on there, right? But when I was 10, 11, 12, I decided I'm going to be an actor. That's what I want. And my mom and dad, being so supportive, said, okay, well, you're going to have to go to acting school. Let's figure this out. And so they took me to an hour away every single like Tuesday and Thursday to this place called John Robert Powers, where they take a lot of people's money to give them some information. I don't know. I learned a lot. I actually got my agent through them when I was like 16, and it was a big
Okay.
agent. It was I was with Abrams Artists for a while, and I don't know if you know who they are, but they're a big agency here in LA.
Okay.
And I got them through that. So it's not a scam, but it's
It
not a
wasn't
real.
the soul moving, enriching opportunity that
Yes, yes, yes. So then when I
everybody
moved down
wants.
here, like I didn't study theater in college. I actually majored in English, which should have
Oh,
been my
makes
first
sense.
clue. That should have been my first clue that
Mhm.
like, why am I not wanting to major in the thing I want to do? Why am I majoring in English? Which they are related. The reason why I got into acting in the first place is actually because of books, which is interesting. I was telling you earlier that the Dear America series, it's this series of books that are from the perspective of young girls in different parts of history, right? So maybe you'll be reading the diary of someone a young girl who's like 12 or 13 and she's on the Titanic. And so
So it's
you're
like the American
learning,
Girl books.
yeah, kind of,
Hmm.
yeah, except it's like they have all these different like time periods. They even had this thing called the Royal Diaries where you'd read like Cleopatra's diary or Queen Elizabeth's diary or whatever it was. And so you
That's great.
learn, and obsessed. Like I was obsessed. I have loved reading since I was like, since I could read. I've loved writing. I wanted to be a writer. That was the thing. But then Britney Spears came on the scene and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a pop star, because who wouldn't, right? And then Dear America released a TV series. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I have to be in that series. I have to, because I loved these books so much. And anyone else that reads the Dear America books, I know they're going to say the exact same thing. Like these books, like had such a hold on me as a child. Like I loved them so much.
How many were there?
But
Was it like a huge series?
ton. Yeah, there's a ton.
I had a
Because they
bunch of
had
writers
different
doing it.
authors. There were
Yeah,
different
yeah.
authors that would do it under the same series. And so it's like you'd have someone that would research this part of history and then write a diary as though they were a young girl. And like they just had, I mean, I have like a stack, like a lot of these
Oh,
books.
that's sweet.
It was really fun. I love it. And so I decided I wanted to be an actor when I was like 10, 11, 12, not realizing what that meant. So to pull it back around, I started studying at this school and then came out here. But instead of doing acting, I did English because I love reading. I love writing. I thought, okay, this is what I want to study, but I'm also going to be taking acting classes. So I took a lot of acting classes in LA. So it was like an hour drive from where I was going to school. So I didn't have like a traditional, like schooling in acting like Keith did. And it's been interesting talking to him because, you know, actors have so many different backgrounds. There's no one path for an actor, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's all of these different ways in which you could become an actor. You could even be an actor and not have any training, right? So I took a lot of like coaching and private coaching and
Oh,
took
wow.
like the acting classes that are out here in LA. And there's so many of them. So that's kind of how I started doing that. But I was booking commercials. I booked some like short film stuff and things like that. Got into voiceover, booked a lot of voiceover, loved it because I got to read, which is all I wanted to do is just read.
Yeah.
Like I should have known. But then COVID hit, right? And at that point I had done a lot of different things. Like I'd done photography. I did headshots for people. I did wedding videography. I had done, at that point I was working as the concierge manager of a like luxury shopping mall down here in LA, which that's like the whole story of how I got to there. It's a long one, but
A lot of twists and turns.
there's a lot of twists and turns. Like, can you tell? Like, I'm all over the place. Like, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing this, I was doing that. And so by the time that I had been doing that job for like 3 or 4 years, like running a concierge desk, right? And that had no creativity in it, I felt. Like, there was just no creative outlet. It was very corporate. It was very much like you're following these rules. Like, we literally had uniforms, you know?
Ugh.
And so it was just very like soul sucking. And it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me that when COVID hit, my entire team got let go, essentially. So I was in this place where I had to figure out, okay, what do I want to do next? Right? Everything had shut down. Everything had slowed down. And I think the thing that I learned the most in COVID was like, I don't ever want to work for somebody else ever again. If I don't have to, like, I don't want to depend on them, because there was a lot of stuff that happened before we got let go that just made me morally uncomfortable, right? Like I had to tell people that I was not going to be doing things because it was unethical, and I didn't want to have that fight. I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do because I knew that they were aligned with my values, right?
Yeah.
So during that time, I started figuring out side hustles to do. I found this thing called print on demand, where you get to create designs and then put them on shirts or mugs, and then you sell them, but another company prints them and ships them for you. So all you have to worry about is the art and the design and the marketing. I did that for a while. I was doing a lot of background work, which
That
I
was on
love
Etsy,
doing
wasn't
still.
it? That was
So
your
like
Etsy
Etsy,
shop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Etsy shop. I had a Shopify shop, all sorts of stuff. And I still have those, like they're open, but I'm not super active in them anymore. They kind of burnt me out a little bit, to be honest. Like I liked it, but it's a lot of work. Like doing print on demand can be a lot of work. And it just wasn't as fulfilling because, again, what I've come to find is like, I like helping people. Like I like working with people and I like helping people. So I did all sorts of side hustles. I did that. I started selling, doing like an Amazon affiliate program where I would get money for just making reviews on Amazon. I did what's called UGC work, where you just make videos for brands. Like I said, I did background work. I've done stand-in work where you stand in for the actor so that you're like lighting them properly, which is super fun. I love doing that. I still do that and I love it.
You do?
And then I do that. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Well,
I
that's
do a lot of
fun.
background work too, which is fun. I do background on a soap opera pretty consistently, which I
Oh,
like
really?
doing. I did background work on Babylon, that movie, on
Oh, wow.
I've
Okay.
done it on so many things. Oh my gosh, like I'm thinking back to this last year, like a ton. Just a ton of different movies and shows.
Wow.
Um, and it's really fun just because I like being on set. Like I just really love being on
Yeah.
set.
You get that kick, but
And
then you don't have to like pour
yeah.
every ounce of
And
yourself into booking
yeah.
that.
Oh my gosh, you get to just observe. Like if you're going to come out and be an actor, like I highly suggest doing background work because it's a low pressure, like here's how you can learn the craft without actually like having any pressure on you. You just get to sit there and observe what everybody's doing. I love doing it. It's so fun. And so this last summer, right, I was at a place where all of these side hustles I had going on, I was spreading myself way too thin, still doing some voiceover, still doing like acting stuff when it came up, but it's like I wasn't really actively pursuing it, right? Not really wanting to do any of the like real estate stuff that I had going on because I got my real estate license too because I can't help myself. Like I have so many things that I do,
I
right?
love it.
And so this last summer, I found this course that was all about like digital marketing and starting your own business and how to like find the things that like how to basically build a brand, right? And in doing that, they have these exercises you go through that kind of help you figure out like what your values are, what your mission is. And I just kept thinking like all I wanted to do was help other people be able to figure out like their passions because it's been such a journey for me, right? To figure out mine and like my purpose. I want to help other people do that too. And I want to help other people find ways to make money online, make money from like non-traditional 9 to 5 work, like have these side hustles or turn their side hustle into their main hustle. So I started my business, Busy Bee Sarah, back in June, and it just like took off. And I specifically remember when I made that decision, like, I want to help these people, like, this is who I want to serve. I could visually see like like it felt like everything just like aligned like in my
Ooh.
brain. It like clicked
Okay.
into place in a visual way, in a way that was not like, oh yeah, this feels right. Like I literally saw it go click in my mind and I said, okay,
Wow.
I'm on to something.
Okay.
And so my boyfriend, who has been observing me doing all of these different side hustles, he's been doing, you know, watching me do the acting, the voiceover, the real estate, all this stuff. I remember he told me like after a week of me really like working on this business, he's like, I've never seen you so focused ever before on something. Like he's like, it's a different type of focus. It's not the same. Cause like when I get into something, like I said, I really get into it, but this was a different type of focus. And I knew what he meant. It was something where I finally felt like my purpose and my values and my passion, all of that aligned into something I actually enjoyed doing. And it's just blown up since then. Like since July, I've been doing it full time, like helping other people do this, like building my business, getting partnerships with other brands, like building my TikTok up from like 0. Now it's almost like 40,000 people. Like it's been a journey, but it
It's
took a
been so
long time to
quick
get
too.
there.
Yeah.
It was quick, but it was quick, but it also was like everything I've done leading up to this point, I feel like helped me figure this out. Like my customer service
Oh
that I
yeah.
did in like the concierge work, right? Like that's helped me a lot. Like even like the print on demand stuff, being able to put together my own courses and my own like ebooks and things like that. I kind of learned how to do that from print on demand. You know, the acting, right? I get on film and I do all these TikTok videos and I'm comfortable doing it because I'm comfortable being on camera, right? So it's like, it felt like all of these little things that I thought were wastes of my time or, oh my gosh, I spent all this money and all this time and all these years like doing this, like, what am I going to show for it? I feel like finally, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's like, it's almost like a Slumdog Millionaire moment, right? Where it's like all these little things that like I've done, I feel like are finally together.
But I mean, that's one of the inspiring things, and we talked about this before. Of like, it's been inspiring watching your journey because you're one of the few people in my circle that has always been trying new things, and they're
Yeah.
not like half-assed approaches. It's whatever it is coming full blast in saturation. It's like, oh, she's doing this. Oh, she's doing this. Oh, she's doing this. And I could even start to see like things coalescing in interesting ways that I wasn't expecting. And
Yeah.
you have such a strong skill set now of all these different things that you've been doing. But like, what an incredible thing for you to have like awareness of and realize that like none of the experiences were wasted time. And we think about like
Yeah.
we were talking about like the sunk cost. That was like the sunk cost.
Yeah, sunk
Like,
cost fallacy. Yeah.
talk to me about that a little bit because I liked
Oh, yeah.
the energy behind it.
It's so important, I think. And I think a lot of people that aren't aware of it will get caught up in it, right? And it's basically just this idea that, like, say you have spent 20 years, right, studying to be a doctor or whatever it is. I know you don't spend 20 years studying to be a doctor, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you put all of your energy, like, so for the acting, for example, let's do that.
Yeah.
My parents, when I was younger, I remember specifically, I have a vivid memory of them going to this acting school, quotes, and paying a check so that I could go to this school. And I got a
Mm-hmm.
scholarship, right? So it's like they didn't pay as much, but I know they paid like over $1,000 for me to get to this school, right? And for me to take these classes. And my mom would drive me every single week, twice a week, like taking time out of her
Oh,
day. And they never got vacations. They never got breaks. They worked so hard. And like they didn't have the money to spend this on me, but me being an unaware, like, child, right? Didn't
mhm.
realize this. I just had a dream that I wanted to be a famous actress, right?
Right.
And so I remember my parents doing that. I remember them going to every single one of the plays that I was in. I remember all of my friends, all of my family being so encouraging, saying, Sarah, oh my gosh, you have to do this. You're going to be so good. Like, you're such a good actress. You should do this. You're going to do this, right? I literally moved to LA. I've spent all of this money, all of this time. I get these headshots. Headshots are hundreds of dollars. I print them out, another $100. I go to acting class, which is like $300 a month. I have all of these costs, all of this time spent. And then I decide I don't want to be an actor. Is all of that time and all of that money and all of that energy wasted? Do I have to say yes to something I don't necessarily think I want to do anymore because I feel like I'm going to be letting down all of these people, letting down 10-year-old me? Like, it's
Mhm.
this idea that, like, because you've invested, it's kind of like a slot machine. Like, well, I've put all this money in now, so it's got to
Oh my
hit. And if I
gosh.
don't, if it doesn't hit, then it's a waste, right? And it's like, no, no, get up and walk away because you're going to put another $1,000 into that machine and still have nothing. Because at the end of the day, if I keep trying to do acting and it's not necessarily what I want to do, where's the sunk cost then? Like, where's the waste then? And I know I'm not explaining like the concept properly, but like
Oh my
that's how
gosh.
I
You
see it.
totally are. You totally are.
Well, it's just this thing. It's this thing that we think because we've been doing something for so long. It's relationships too, right? I have
Hmm.
relationships where I've been friends with people for a long time, and I think, well, I've invested all this time, but if that relationship isn't serving me anymore and it's actually hindering me and hurting me, should I still be in that relationship just because I have all this time? Like, it's a tough thing to reconcile, and it's a tough thing, I think, for people to walk away from something when they feel like they've invested so much into it, you know. But from someone who's done it from on in several ways in my life, in my personal
Hmm.
relationships and in jobs and in career paths, like, I just think that it's a fallacy for a reason, right? It's
Yeah.
like I think we have a hard time living in the present and thinking towards the future, but really living in the present, right? And not thinking like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to just be unhappy because I did all those things in the past, right?
It seems like a toxic form of accountability. Whereas I feel like in
Mm-hmm.
culture, it's so much of you need to find the thing and stick with it and don't let it go and don't give up. Whereas, that's not really accountability in any way. Accountability is saying, like, I need to check in with myself and see how I actually feel about these things
Yeah.
and, like, understand that maybe I need to slow down and step away from the thing. And if this feels better, maybe I need to go in a different way. And like for
Yeah. I
you
think,
to acknowledge that and then have like everything come together all of a sudden, what a
yeah.
rewarding experience of being like, boom, a wave
Yeah.
of this works. This is why you have to be accountable to
Yeah.
yourself.
I think you have to have like endless optimism too, honestly. That's something that I've been finding
That you
in the
have.
last like month that I do have. And it's something that I think is difficult for a lot of people, right? It's hard. And
Yeah.
I'm very thankful because my parents, I feel like a lot of parents, I think, tell their kids, like, oh, you're playing soccer and you don't want to play any soccer anymore. Well, you can't be a quitter. Don't be a quitter. My parents are like, you can quit. Like, that's fine. Like, you don't want to finish your food? Okay. Like, they just gave me this, like, confidence that I feel like a lot of people don't have and a
Great.
lot of people aren't given. And I feel very privileged to have been raised by people that gave me that confidence, I feel like, and really encouraged me to make decisions, even if it is the decision to quit something, right? Even if it's the decision to say no to something that I've been doing, like they've always supported that. And my dad, I remember when I was in fourth grade, I got like a C on a test, and I'm an overachiever. Like if I'm not getting an A, I might as well be getting an F, right? And so when I got this C, I was crying in the car and I was so upset. And I just have this vivid memory of him being like, well, did you try your hardest? And me being like, yeah, like I did. And him saying, well, then that's all that matters. Like, then that's okay. Like, who cares if you got a C? You'll do better
Oh,
next
that's
time.
sweet.
Like, and I have these memories like that growing up of my parents really encouraging me and really just giving me, like I said, this unwavering like belief that everything's going to work out and it'll be fine. Like I have endless optimism. And I'm just
Hmm.
realizing like a lot of people don't. I was on a coaching call with someone the other day and she was doing amazing work, like really beautiful stuff, like what she was filming and what she was doing. It was so impressive. And I was floored by how good like her footage looked and how good like everything was. And I was telling her this. And she said to me, she's like, oh my gosh, Sarah, like this, like is like it's crazy because like no one's ever told me I'm good like at this stuff or that I'm like no one's ever encouraged me. I feel so encouraged. And I just was like, wait, what?
Wow.
I know, because I forget that not everybody has that. And not everybody has this ability to say it's okay to quit because we have it ingrained in our brains that no, it's not. You can't be a quitter. You got to just push through and tough it out. And it's like, no, you really don't. You really, really
You
don't.
really don't.
Like it's okay
Yeah.
to quit. It's okay to give up. And in the sense of like, you know, like give up things that don't serve you. Like
Yeah.
cut out people that are hurting you as opposed to helping you. Have those boundaries, you know, like it's okay.
And
But it
it's hard to
takes
do
like,
that. It's hard to start
yeah,
doing that. But once you do, you start saying, no, I'm not going to socialize with this person anymore.
yeah,
And you actually say it versus ghosting. Or you say, I'm not going to
yeah,
do this opportunity, or I'm not going to work at this place anymore. Once you
yeah.
start to do it, it does get easier. But I love that, like, I love that you're helping people see their own light that's within them. And
I,
that's
oh,
really what you emanate and what I think that, like, we all have within us. It's just, not everybody has, like, I think just what you're saying, like that the opportunities and like exposure growing up to people who encourage them
yeah,
to know that it's okay to lean into things that are passion. I mean, so many people, you walk
yeah,
around and you see so many people, like, you know that they have that passion within them, and they have, I know at 2 in the morning everybody sits in their bed and thinks about things, everybody has dreams, everybody, but it's having the people around you that can, like, you know, help motivate and show you that this is a reality. I mean, I
yeah,
guess I grew up with that, with, like, I guess both my parents, but my dad is owning his, like, his music school and being a piano teacher, and, like, I grew up with musicians, you know, so it was who ran their own businesses, and so it was, I guess I saw from day one that, like, you can do whatever it is that you want to do,
yeah.
but you have to
Well,
believe and try new things.
and my
And that's
dad
the thing.
is a golfer. Like that's what he does. He was like a pro golfer, right? And
Really?
oh yeah, he was in the U.S. Open. Yeah, he was on the PGA
Oh my
Tour.
gosh. Oh my god.
I think it was
What?
in Asia. Yeah, the PGA Tour. He was in the senior U.S. Open back in 2008. Like, I love my dad, but the thing about my dad is he
Golfing's fun.
loves golfing. He loves golfing. He loves fishing. He chose the career that he wanted because he loves it. And so I have that in my head as like someone in my life that did what they wanted to do. On the
Yeah.
flip side, I have my mom who worked with
Mm.
my dad to help him achieve his dream by running that business side, right? Who kind of put her
Oh.
stuff a little bit on hold, the things that she wanted to do.
Hmm.
You know, and she raised me and my sister, and my dad did too, obviously. But like, let's be honest, she did a lot of that work, Dad. If you're watching this, she did a lot of that work. But, you know, I had both of them just like showing me what it was to follow your dream, but also showing me what it was to do the hard work that you have to do that maybe sometimes you don't want to do. And so it kind of is like, for me, it was like this battle of like, what do I have to do and what do I want to do? And so to
Hmm.
find something that like my dream was to do both. And because my parents made so many sacrifices for me, right? And because they worked so hard, I feel like I'm able to do that because of the sacrifices and the things that they did for me, you know? And it's like, I know like there's a lot of generations that are like, but you have to put in the work. And oh my gosh, like this generation is so lazy and they don't want to work at all. And it's like, no, we were just given this really beautiful gift from the generation before us of not wanting to have our souls sucked out by corporate America like they did, some of them, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. This hasn't been going on forever.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh.
Hmm.
And like things are so different now, but it's also like we've seen what working in a job that you don't love does to people as they get older. And it's like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be forever working for a boss that doesn't appreciate me or value me or want me to have more than what I have right now. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like, and to be able to also have this creativity in there and be able to like be multi-passionate and find a way to be okay. Like, I feel like there's this culture of like, if you do something well, you have to make money doing it, right? So
Hmm.
it's like, I do photography. I love photography. I have done headshots for people. I've done weddings. I've done engagements, things like that. I hate making money doing photography. I hate it because I love photography as an art. I do
Yeah.
not want to make money doing it because it adds this pressure and it adds this like other element of business that like I just don't want. So I stopped doing it. Like I stopped doing it unless I want to do a photo shoot for art, like the sake of making art. So, and I
Do you
just feel
feel
like
that?
in our would you say?
Do you do photo shoots? Do you go take
I
photos
do
or?
sometimes, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I
Oh,
do, and I
that's
like
good.
doing. It's funny that you say that I like to shine a light on people because that's literally I never put that together, but that's literally why I liked doing photography. I loved doing portrait sessions
Hmm.
because I find I see people in such a like. I think people are amazing. Like, I know people can be terrible. I'm big time into true crime. Let me tell you, I know
Oh
people
yeah.
can be absolutely horrible. But I have, like I said, this endless optimism where I really do try and see the best in people. And when I visually like look at people, like I just think they're beautiful. And I think that people
Aw.
don't see themselves the way that I see them. And so in my
Mhm.
photography, like to show them how I see them, which is beautiful. And so a lot of my photo shoots will be very, just like flattering. And I just try to put people in their best light and show them how I see them. And it's like, that's what I like doing with photography. I don't like making money doing that. Like, I don't want to make money doing that. Like, that's for me and like my
Yeah.
soul and my artistic creativity. And I think it's okay to have things like that that are creative, but don't make money and aren't your job. And they are just something that you want to do for you. And I feel
Oh, I
like
think it's necessary.
you have to, but
How
so
do you
often,
feel
how many
well if you're
times have
just
I been
making money?
told, everybody tells me though, they're like, oh my God, you have to do photography. You should like start charging people for that. Or, oh, you want to help people find a house? You need to become a real estate agent or whatever it is, right? It's like painting. You should sell that on Etsy. Okay. Like cooking. You need to
Yeah.
do, I don't know. But like, I just feel like so many people in my life tell me how to monetize things, which I think is great if you want to monetize it. But if you don't, it's okay. It's okay. Like
Well,
you
I
can just
think
do
it's
things
like
because you love them.
most people have no idea of what that sensation is that you're
Mm-hmm.
getting and you're articulating for yourself. And I mean, I guess it makes sense the monetizing, but it's like the first question and like the only place people can get to a lot of the time because like you
Yeah.
don't even know where you're going. And like you know deep down that like there's a path and there's things
Yeah.
that you don't quite know. And I'm as I get older, like I'm understanding that like I don't know everything I'm doing and where it's gonna go, and getting more comfortable with like as long as you're doing stuff and trying new things, you're
Yeah.
gonna arrive at a really unique place. But
Mm-hmm.
if we can't even articulate what that place is, how can other people?
Yeah. I think for me, like I said, the breakthrough kind of came when I realized who I want to serve, right? Like, who do I want
Mm-hmm.
to help? Who do I want to, like, do things for in this life? Because I'm a huge believer in, like, community and, like, serving others. And I've always had that. And that's always been, like, a core value of mine. And so it's like, if people can figure out who they want to serve or how do you picture your life for the next 10, 15, 30 years. And I don't mean like, okay, I have a job where I'm doing this. I mean like, do you want to spend time with your family or do you want to build something that is a business? Do you want to be traveling? Like, how do you want your impacts to be? And again, we talked about how I've always had it in my head that I have had this extra pressure of needing to make a big impact, right? Because like I was very sick growing up and I always had it kind of drilled into
Mm-hmm.
me that like it was a miracle that I even lived past like childhood. And so there's this
Yeah.
pressure, and you know what I'm talking about, but there's like this pressure to be great and to be amazing and have this huge impact. And I think that's partly why I didn't give up acting either, because I thought to myself, well, actually, because yeah, I thought to myself, what a huge impact I could have. And I went and I helped in a country after like a humanitarian crisis. And I was telling them like, oh, I'm going to be an actress, blah, 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 blah. And I remember her saying to me like, oh my gosh, you're going to help us so much when you can do that. And I'm like, oh, that's a big, like, that's
Huh.
big pressure. Like, that's a lot. And so I'm thinking I have to be huge and big and do these great things. But do you know, like, that woman that told me that like, no one's ever encouraged her, like, even just
Hmm.
saying that now, like, it makes me like tear up because it's like, that's huge. That's huge. That is the big. That is the huge. Like, even just
Dude,
helping like
just
one
talking
person
before this
realize.
call. Just talking before this call, and we were discussing like different ways to monetize and use
Yeah.
social media to your benefit, and seeing these things like just within a few minutes, it's like not only are there possibilities, but like you've seen so many ways to bring in money and how to shape your life in the way that you want it, and you're not gatekeeping
Yeah.
that. Like I feel very
No,
seen, very seen. I feel very
that's
optimistic and
huge.
hopeful, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like we got to end this call
Yeah.
fast. Like I got to like hop on TikTok and like start cranking out content. Like
But
we got to go, go, go. But I
I've
love that,
always,
and so I can
I'm so
only like
glad.
imagine that like your clients and the people you work with, and also like the people that you're making content for, like they must all just
Yeah.
feel this energy of like relief.
But I even have people like reach out to me that I don't know on TikTok that are trying to do the same thing as I am. And I'll
Hmm.
tell them, I'm like, here's how you do it. Like, I know that's probably from like a business point of view, not the way to do it. But again, if I'm going to be doing this, if I'm going to help people in this
Hmm.
way, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, not the way that people tell me I should do it.
That's
Right. And I
great.
think that's huge. Like, that's even with acting. Like, when I was at the height of like doing all my auditions and going to classes and doing all this stuff, like, people did gatekeep and they did like they wouldn't tell you like if they knew certain things or if they had tips or tricks or the acting classes you should take or whatever it was. Like people gate kept so much. But if you were a new person that moved here to LA and you were like, I don't know what I'm doing, I would share everything with you. Like I'm just a sharer. Like
Hmm.
I like to share information. I like to like if I love something, I it is one of the things that energizes me the most is sharing that with someone else. Like, and I've been like that since I was a kid. Like, even
Love
reading
that.
the books that I loved reading, I would like read it out loud to my mom. I'm like, oh, can I read this to you? Like, I love
Aw.
sharing. Like, and that's something that it took me, like, I feel like a lot of the times we don't realize these skills or these like passions and these things and how they can be applied in other ways. Cause I'm
Oh
basically, that's
God,
all
yeah.
I do. That's all I do on my TikTok too. And in my business, all I do is share the information that excites me. That's literally all I do. And
You're
I've found a way to
exercising the
make money
energy
doing
and the
it.
skills that you want to
Yeah.
actually have resonate with your people. So it's
Yeah.
like you reaching out or you posting or you doing whatever. It's all the same.
Yeah. And I'm a big believer in encouraging people to follow their energy. So it's like if something, like if you're excited to work on this project or you're like, ooh, I really want to do this, like try it out and see. And, and just like follow what energizes you and excites you. And as someone with ADHD, that can get a little chaotic sometimes because I'm like,
Yes.
I have energy for this and now I have energy for this and now I have energy for
All
that.
of the things at the same time.
Yes, I want to do all of it. And it's like being multi passionate is great. And it's like sometimes you do have to prioritize, right? It's like I saw a great video on YouTube about like how can you make money as a multi passionate person, right? Because if you go back to where I was in like 2021, I'd say 2022, I
Mhm.
had all of these ways to make money, right? I had Etsy, I had the print on demand stuff, I had Amazon, I had UGC work, I was doing background work, I was doing voiceover work, I was doing even like Uber Eats and stuff like that. I had all of these ways to make money. But because I wasn't focusing my energy and giving my all to one of them, I was giving a little bit of myself to everything. They all were kind of like mediocre, you know? Like I learned and have the knowledge to do it, but like the actual doing of it, it takes a
Yeah,
lot of
you weren't
focus. And it's like for
specializing.
someone that has a hard time focusing, like it was hard.
Hmm.
So it's like, it's tough, I think, for people that have all of these different passions to figure out which one they should focus on. So that's why I say follow your energy. But I saw this YouTube video where she was like, yes, do that, but also do the one that's going to make you the money right now that you're actually like excited about
Mm,
and you're going to be able to
okay.
do for like consistently for like at least a month focusing on that. Right. So it's like if
Hmm.
the thing is that you are going to be doing, I don't know, the print on demand because it's making you money right now, keep focusing on that until you get to a place where that has made you enough and you've got that under control that it's basically on autopilot. And
Yeah.
then you can add the others. And that's kind of what I'm doing now too. Like I've been focusing all of my attention on Busy Bee Sarah, like in my coaching business, and it's gotten to a place where I feel really good about it. And it's pretty like it's not on autopilot, but it's definitely like in a place where I'm organized with what I do and I'm doing it much faster. Right. And so
Good.
I'm now getting back into like reading more because I have time to read. I'm getting back into like writing more because I have time to write. And it's like, if I want to monetize that or if I just want it to be for creative, awesome, because I've made this thing over here that's going to support me financially so that I can do the creative pursuits. And I think there's nothing wrong with that either. I have a friend who she works in education,
Hmm.
and it's not like it's her passion. It's not like it's what she wants to do for the rest of her life. Like she's not a teacher. She's in like admin stuff, right? But
Okay.
she wants to have a 9 to 5 because she needs and loves consistency in her life, right? And so she is able to go to her 9 to 5, get her paycheck, leave, and then she, is able to do the things she loves doing and still have that structure. Like I feel like not everyone is wild like we are when it comes to like, I'm just gonna be with the wind and like let's just see where life takes me. Like not everyone's like
Hmm.
that.
But you're learning how to, ride the currents of the wave.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that because I always used to say like for a long time I let like the river of life take me where it took me instead of actively deciding where I wanted to go. So now I'm going to visualize myself like on a surfboard, like riding the waves where I want to go.
I think I forget who it was, but someone once referred to me as like a kite blowing away in the wind. Like I like to go
Mm,
wherever it is. And I remember I told my guru about it, and she was like, "Okay." And she's like, "How do you feel about that?" I was like, "I want to like take that kite and put a concrete block to it and put it on the earth so it stays in place." And she's like,
mm,
"Why would you want to do that? That's horrible." And I'm like, "Yeah, that is kind of horrible. The kite wants to fly. Why would I untether it? Why would I keep it
yeah,
tethered to the earth?" But, it bobbing around and being pushed around by the world doesn't work either.
yeah.
So it's finding
It's
your
kind
own
of like
unique
almost
way
like
to do what
a
you were meant to
kite that
do.
can fly where it wants to fly and be like taken by the breeze,
Yeah,
but also then like fly back. I don't
exactly.
know.
And it can be
I don't know.
gentle, and it doesn't have to be bopped around.
Yeah.
And one
Yeah.
thing
It
that
can just be like
I'm
soaring.
curious about is like when you're talking to people when you're doing your coaching and stuff, and you just see that like they have those moments where they're saying that they're excited about stuff. That's the moment where I feel like the nurturing has to happen,
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of
Big
them are
time.
probably saying that for the first time
Big
to
time.
someone that's outside of their family or their partner
Oh
or stuff like
gosh,
that.
yeah.
And
And that's
I can assume it
huge.
immediately goes up and down, or it becomes big, and then they start to
Yeah.
have the shattering of who they were, but then all the doubts creep in at that very moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And there's a
What's
ton
that
of
like?
doubts. So when I started this too back in June, I literally didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my sister, I didn't tell my friends. Keith was the only person that I told, and I did that very intentionally
Good for
because
you.
very very intentionally because the thing is it's like these people can love me, these people can support me, but
Hmm.
if I give away this energy and this excitement that I have to other people, I might not get that energy and excitement back. I might have
Yeah.
just let it out,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
think that happens to a lot of people. And so
Oh God,
when
yeah.
I don't think I told them until I had like a
Terrible.
solid amount of followers and I'd made some sales and I was actually like doing it full time. That's when I told people, hey, by the way, I'm doing this thing and it's what I'm doing now.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people, when I do coach them, I think, it's unfortunate. A lot of them have people in their lives that don't support them. Not even like not intentionally, but actively don't support them and actively tell them they're not good enough. They're going to fail. This is a waste of their time. This is a waste of their money. Why would they succeed? Like actively like not supporting. Right. And
Hmm.
so it's very difficult to help people through that, and to help people try to keep that peace and keep those boundaries up. And that's why I tell them like, don't tell them you're doing it. Like if you, and I have a hard time with that because me being that sharer where I love to share things that I'm excited about, I love doing that. Keith has been really helpful in helping remind me like, okay, but are you sure you want to tell this person that you're doing that? Like, because in the past when you've done that, it hasn't worked out the way you hope it's
Oh,
going to work
I
out.
love that you guys are having those conversations. You're
Oh
checking in
yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
all the
that's
time.
fantastic.
We are so tight at the hip codependent. It's insane. Like, but in a good way. Like in the way that's like I feel like I have someone that I can literally
You're
say
partners.
everything
You're
to.
not codependent.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
I don't know. Maybe you
true
are.
partners. I don't know, maybe maybe a little bit of both. But we are true partners and like I truly like and we support each other so fully and so wholly that like when I got my first sale through this coaching, he turned to me and I turned to him, and I was like, can we do this full time? And he was like, let's try it for a month and see. And he fully supported us, just like taking the full month and just like, and we didn't have the money to do it. Like, we were in no position whatsoever to be doing
But you can
this. And
do a
like,
lot in a month with the right energy.
you can do a lot in the month. And that's what we did. We put like all of our focus into that. And it's like, I just can't imagine like having, I mean, I can imagine having people in your life that like that actively don't support you. But it's like, I don't know that I would have been able to do this as quickly as I did. And, you know, just without the strife, if I had someone in my life actively telling me I wasn't going to succeed in doing it, like that's so hard. It's really tough. And a
For all
lot of
that you
people
like
deal
to
with that.
share, well, like you say, you like to share so much and you like to be so transparent with what you're doing. The one thing is from that acting school that you went to, you haven't shared at all that they were encouraging and passionate and brought that light out of you and all these things.
The
So that's
first one that I went
interesting.
to?
Yeah, like that one that you
Oh,
drove,
yeah.
yeah, like that your parents paid the money for, and it's like it's interesting that like the way you paint like the family dynamic of like, your mom like showing up to help out, to make some money, to make ends
Hmm.
meet, to go to this thing. So it's interesting that like your passion lived throughout all of this, you
Yeah.
know? And I mean, it sounds like you've dealt with the maybe inherited guilt,
Yeah.
inherited blocks in healthy ways because you're acknowledging it and you're acknowledging
Yeah.
what you don't want to have blocking your life.
Yeah. Well, and again, Keith and I talk about that a lot. Like, it's really nice to have someone that I can talk to about that and have these shared experiences and both be like, wait, did your parents do that? Oh, do you feel bad about your parents
Mm.
spending money on you as a kid? Oh, yeah, because I do. I literally remember when I was like in second or third grade, like my parents taking me and my sister to the fair and me being like, oh, that ride looks so fun. And my dad being like, ooh, it costs that much. And me being like, oh, and him being like,
I'm
it's
so
okay,
sorry.
we'll do it. And then him taking me on the ride and me feeling this eternal guilt. I'm 35 years old. Like, I must have been 8 or 9, and I still remember that so clearly. And Keith has moments like that too, where it's
Oh,
like
I
he
do
just has
too.
this, like, everyone does. But if you told your parents, and if I have told my parents, and they're like,
Oh yeah.
why do you feel bad about that? Like, what? Like, we did that because we wanted to do that. Like, it's so tough. Like, just feeling this guilt of like seeing how hard my parents worked and like wanting to live up to that and wanting to like do something with my
Hmm.
life that makes them proud and makes those sacrifices they made worth something. But all they want in my life is for me to be happy and healthy. I know that, but it's hard to remember that in the moment when you're pursuing things that are creative and when you're pursuing things that
Yeah.
don't always see that traditional career path and success that so many people do.
I feel like that's the work though of saying that like all of those sacrifices and all of those decisions on their part were their decisions. Yes, you
Yeah.
might have benefited and you've listed a million benefits that have got you to where
Mm-hmm.
you are today. But those were their choices based off
Mm-hmm.
of their experiences at that time in their life. Like we don't owe anything to our parents. We don't owe anything
Yeah.
to anybody. It's all a construction, and it's like if we want to give that, well, then it's a beautiful gift that we can give back to
Yeah.
them
I love
for showing
that.
up in that way. But it's not like it's like in the same way that it's not your responsibility to pursue creativity in ways that don't speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all just how things that you're putting on yourself or things that we put on
Yeah.
ourselves. Like I mean, I felt that like in a million different ways. Like we were talking about earlier, like when you were telling me about when you were sick as a kid, that it was a
Mm-hmm.
miracle that you were alive, and like objectively, it's a miracle that we're all alive and we're all doing
Yeah.
great things, right? But it's a unique way of like othering someone because now they're like not that they're a martyr, but it's that they are the beacon of light.
Yeah. It's like
That's
a
what it is, I
symbol.
think. It's like pumping a battery into someone, but it's not like their energy. It's this external energy,
Yeah.
and it's like how long can you put that energy out of like I don't know, like I experienced that a lot. What we were talking about was like because my dad's brother died when
Mm-hmm.
my dad's brother was like 7, I think, when he died of cancer in the 60s, in the 70s, something like that. Hearing things of like when I was born that like it was like my grandparents started smiling again and that I was like a
Mm-hmm.
beacon of light for the family and that like anyone will tell you that I was like the loudest one in the family and I was the cheerful one and I was the ringleader and I was just the one
Mm.
trying to bring a lot of passion and light into that I don't know, all into all the interactions, but in a lot of ways I was the people pleaser and I was the one supporting everybody else emotionally. So that it makes sense that I followed a path of creativity, which a lot of my family members had. But then by the time I got to high school, I was completely numb. I think I pursued film and creative writing because it was a way for me to express myself, and it was something that
Yeah.
nobody had done. That's definitely why I left home for a while. But the experience of, I guess I'm realizing that the experience of creating and the experience of showing up for other people. My mom and I talk about this a lot now. We talk about everything I've learned in the past couple of years, which has been fabulous. But we talk a lot about how it's not our responsibility at all to regulate members of our family, which is big for us. My mom and I,
Yeah.
like, our brains are the same, and it's like that's a very big family, you know,
Yeah.
reckoning of, a
Yeah.
realignment for us to be like, it's just not. And we can, like, even with each other, we can support each other, but at the end of the day, it's like if you don't start using the tools that you've learned, like if I don't journal in the morning, if I don't do
Hmm.
qigong, which is this like meditation kind of thing, it's kind of like tai chi. If I don't
Hmm.
meditate, if I don't do things that are good for me, it's on me,
Yeah.
and it has nothing to do with my output. Because at the end of the day, does anybody actually care if, like, I would love to share my book with people, but does it really matter if other people get to read that book? No, it's just my
Yeah.
ego. It's just my
Yeah.
ego saying your worth only stems from this thing that you've been telling everybody that you're going to put out, which I think, goes back to what you were
Yeah.
saying about, like, keep
It's
it
this
for yourself.
expectation. Yes.
Find, like, those
Yeah.
one or two people who, like, you really know, like, get your vibe.
Who are the people that are the cheerleaders no matter what you're doing. You're one of those people. You are absolutely one of those people. You are one. My friend Brittany is one. Like, there are just people that you can find in your life that you tell them something and they're like, that's so cool. Like, like people that have wonder still, and that people that have this
Yeah.
like
Oh,
energy of
that's a great
optimism and
word.
wonder.
I don't
Wonder,
use
right?
wonder enough. That's a great word.
Do
And
you
that's what
know
it
why I
feels
do
like.
it? It's my dad. My dad finds wonder in literally everything.
Aw.
Everything. And he always has my whole life. Whenever the moon is outside at night, he like will be back home, like growing up all throughout my childhood and adulthood. He'd be like, "Oh, do you see the moon tonight?" Like he'll sometimes call me and be like, "Oh, you got to check out the moon tonight. Like look at the moon." Like and
Aw.
he finds wonder in the same moon every single night, or if there's some kind of like flower or bird or plant, like he has wonder because the world is wonder. Like at least it
Okay.
can be if you see it that way, right? And it's like every
Mhm.
little thing is just like you said, a miracle. And it's like if you
Yeah.
have that perspective and you can see through that lens, which isn't always easy, like isn't always easy, especially with like mental health and with just like busyness that comes up in our lives. But it's like if you can find a moment to find wonder in every single day, like I try so hard to do that, and I'm so thankful that my dad like showed me that.
But dude, like, what an amazing thing. Like, you get to experience this life with these experiences in this way, so that when you're
Yeah,
communicating with people who you've never met before, or you might never meet in person, like, you get to have that connection. And you get to
I
share
feel
that. And, like, maybe they won't, maybe they'll remember it now and act on it. Maybe 10 years from now,
yeah, or it will mean
it'll spark.
absolutely nothing to them. Like
Right. They might not be ready to
who
receive it
knows?
at
Who
all.
knows? But I feel like we all have stuff like that, right? And I do run into that a lot too, where people are like, but like I have to be like this person, or I need to do what
Mm,
that person's doing, and like, but this person's doing this really cool thing, and I want to be them. And it's like they think that because somebody else has already done it, that they can't. And I just think that people are so unique in their journeys and the stories they're told about themselves growing up that they tell themselves now. Like all of our experiences have brought us to this place of making us all so unique. And it's like nobody could possibly see the world the way you do, like at all. Like no one sees the world the way that you do. And so it's like if you can share that and allow people to like see into the world the way you do just a little bit, like I think
yeah.
that's such a gift and such a like amazing thing to be able to share with other people. And like that makes you so unique and so just like singular, you know?
It's that act of sharing it. I was talking about this
Mm-hmm.
in the last conversation I was having with my buddy Elmer. That, like, I think it was Thelmer. It's like the act of sharing it is when obviously you get to see what you were trying to see in yourself, right? So you're creating this thing, you're doing this thing. Like that's why you have to show up and why you have to finish and you have to put it out there because you're sharing it and you're connecting with people. And it's this act of like whatever you were trying to learn about yourself, you can start to learn from it. But I guess what I'm learning is how much lying there's been about the things I've said to myself, the things I cannot do. No, I could do them. The things I say I need to do, you don't need to do them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's that act of like
Yeah.
sharing whatever it is helps me to see, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is how much of the personality, how much of what we're putting out into the world is our actual energy or it's the personality that's been crafted by
Yeah.
our environment.
Or like these stories that we tell ourselves, right? Or that we've been told. Like I just have been thinking a
Mm-hmm.
lot lately about like, it feels like folklore, right? Like, cause
Yeah.
like I said, I'm 35
Good
years
way to
old.
put it.
So if I'm thinking of these stories that I've been told from when I was 5 years old, that I was so sick and I almost died, and that's the framework in which I'm seeing my life and in which I'm telling these stories to myself because it's been told to me growing up so many times, it becomes a part of my identity and like my personality a little bit. And it becomes this thing that I took on that isn't like organically me. Like if I was in a box, it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be me. If I had never been told this, I would be such a different person, I think. And I would have different just like motivations and different pressures and anxieties in my life and different just things that
Sure.
motivate me. Like it would be so different. And it's like I just think of it like we're told these things and they just shape who we are.
Well, then you have like, and you have this guilt put on you for like, not guilt, but it's, well, in a way, it's
It
more of like a
is. We
safety
have
issue
so
of,
much guilt.
well, I think, but it stems from a place of not being safe because then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, my body didn't want to support me, but
Yeah.
now it does. So already we're on shaky ground.
Yeah.
And then it's saying, okay, but you stuck the landing and you're fine now, so you need to be grateful. But
Yeah.
then what happens, you start shaming yourself. Because if you're
Yes.
not living and using that body and putting it out into the world and, sharing your light with in all these ways, the Britney Spears conversation we were having
Yes.
of like, why is
Yes.
there attraction for you in that dazzling, starstruck,
Hmm.
icon? And it's because like I think it's because there's just so much of this energy of putting yourself out
Yeah.
into the world. But that might not be what you actually need.
Yeah. It might not be the best thing for me or for the people in my life or for any of it. Like, I just feel like
Yeah.
like life is a constant state of learning and growing, right? Like, that's why I think we're here. Like, I think that we're here for whatever reasons we're here, but I think if we're going to make anything of this life, we need to be learning and growing. And it's like, I feel like being able to be self-aware enough to understand why you do the things you do. That's why I think everyone should go to therapy. I truly think everyone should go to
Oh God.
therapy.
Absolutely.
Every single person, because I went to therapy back in, I think it was 2017, and it was for something totally unrelated to this. I was going through a divorce at the time, actually, and it was my first therapy session ever. And the first thing I talked about was not my now ex-husband. It was not my relationship. It was
Hmm.
how when I was young, was told that I almost died. And she was like, it's interesting you would bring that up first. Like, that's interesting. And I was like,
It is
that is
interesting.
interesting. Why did I bring that up? Like, huh. And so we talked about it. And it's one of those things where it's like, again, this framework of that I have to be perfect and I have to, people please, right? Like you were saying, and I have to live up to these expectations and the sunk cost fallacy and all of these things came crashing down on me. And I
Sure.
realized, oh my gosh, I have been living this way. That was the first time I realized that a lot of the things I do, I did because of that story that was told to me, And it's like, obviously I make my own decisions. I did what I did because I did them, but like, it made me realize the bigger picture of maybe why I do things the way that I do. And I'd never gotten
Hmm.
that before, except for in therapy, which I feel like holds up a mirror to you, right? That you can't really see yourself. And so it's like, I think
Absolutely.
everyone should go through therapy because you're going to learn things that like you didn't even know you needed to learn. Like I had no idea that was going to come out. Like no clue.
That's the thing, though. We all go for. I feel like everybody steps into therapy or in some form of guidance because they want to fix one aspect You know, they
Yeah.
want to create a better situation and they want to do this. Like in learning of the archetypes and stuff, like
Hmm.
it's always like the magician energy, especially with guys that like they want to fix, they want to create more, they want to tap in more, they want to produce more. And it's just like, why can't I
Hmm.
do it? And it always goes back to that wasn't really the issue. The issue is this love. This sense of
Yeah.
love is not there, and not understanding that love is like the union of different things. And then when those things come together and coalesce, there is strength. And that's all that love is. It's just acceptance of what is without putting out judgments. But we put up all
Yeah.
these walls around our heart that we can't accept things, including ourselves. But
Yeah.
dude, I have to share this insight. Okay, so you keep talking about this like this death thing, like that you were like lucky to be born.
Yeah.
Okay, so just go with me. So the thing that you have that's very interesting is that you've had all these different types of careers and all these different moves and all these different things that you've done. These are all forms of rebirth
And creation, right?
and creation.
Hmm.
But it's like this thing of like, you were able to keep this life energy going. There is no stopping you. And I'm like, this
Oh,
is the story of like the phoenix in a lot of ways. And then as soon as I just
yeah.
clicked a minute ago, and I'm like, oh, and you're wearing a red shirt. That's amazing. You just
And
have this
red's like my
like
favorite. I
this
love red. Red's one of
fire.
my colors. I'm an Aries too, so it's like red, energy,
That's
fire.
why we get
Yeah.
along. Leos and
That's
Aries,
why. That's why my
dude.
mom's a Leo. I love Leos.
See, yeah, my cousin's an Aries. And it's just
Oh my
like
God, how
vibe.
funny. But you know what I
I'm
mean?
not
You're
making Aries.
so right though. And it's
But
like,
it's like
is
it
that,
keeps going and the momentum keeps building. And sometimes, you know,
yeah,
you're a small little fledgling and sometimes you have a lot of this energy, but you
yeah.
like it just keeps building. And I don't know if that like adds to like the way that you
No,
might
it
conceive yourself.
does.
I'd love
And
to hear your
especially
thoughts.
the
But
rebirth. And especially, I think, again, that optimism, right? Because it's one of those things where, like,
mm, yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
know that the optimism came from my parents necessarily, because it's like, I think that my confidence came from them, like, encouraging me and, like, telling me and keeping me
Okay.
going on and on. But optimism, I've just been thinking about it a lot and I don't have the answers to where it comes from, but I'm wondering if maybe it is
Hmm.
because of the things that I was told, like, Sarah, you weren't supposed to live, but guess what? You did. And that happened a few times. And so it's like this optimism that even if
Okay.
you're looking at death, even if you're looking at this thing that is supposed to go wrong, hey, it might go right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wonder if that's
Yeah.
where I get some of my optimism from.
Changing
And
the
it's
narrative.
like learned from a small age because I don't know. I'm like, is it a chemical thing in
I
my
dig that.
brain? Is it like what is it? I don't know, but I am like hopelessly optimistic that things are going to work out for me.
But I
Like,
think
and
that
I
makes
know that's
perfect
not
sense.
normal. Yeah, I know that
No,
everyone has
I don't
that
know.
though.
It isn't. It isn't. But it doesn't matter. No, you can't bring normal into the conversation.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
like
Maybe
you
it's
can't
something that we
compare
all
it.
have, but it's taken away at some
You couldn't
point by
hold that
other.
energy. I don't think you
Yeah,
could hold all of that energy. You could hold bits and pieces of it, but I think that you were also holding on to like that guilt, right? And like
yeah,
the heaviness of that, and not necessarily being able to regulate and see yourself in the way that you do now. That you
yeah,
can like let that go and let that be. But I mean, from what it seems like that you've had to grow into this role
yeah,
of being able to see yourself and prioritize what you want to do and how you want to do it and experimentation with this, that, and the other. So now when you're letting your light out, it's just pew, it's just
yes,
flowing. Nothing's getting in its way really. And that's so
yeah,
cool. So I mean it's a lot. I don't know, maybe what do you think about this idea that like it's as much as like heavy energies are difficult for children to hold on to, so is
yeah,
the idea of optimism because optimism
yeah,
kind of implies that I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but it's like when you're a kid, you just play.
yeah.
How does optimism get worked into play? I'm just going to
I
play anyway. Now
yeah,
I
but
have to like now the opposite of like it's not going to be there. It's not going to work out.
that's what
Why
I'm
did it work
wondering. Like,
out?
are we all optimistic when we very first start, right? Like, is everyone optimistic, but then things happen in their life that makes them question and makes them hurt and gives them reason to doubt and like, do you know what I mean? Like, or is it
Yeah.
something else entirely? Like, I don't know, but like, I think it's an interesting question. That like, why are some people as adults now
Hmm.
optimistic and some are just not? You know, like, and I don't know if that comes down to like childhood trauma. I don't know if it comes down to like a chemical thing or like what it is. I don't know. But
Would
you're
you
right.
doubt
Like it isn't
yourself a
it's
lot? You
no.
were optimistic. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't doubt myself that much. No, I really don't. Like, and that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like, how did I become, who am I? And how did I become this way?
No,
I
I
don't
love it. Like,
know.
I doubt myself so much every
And maybe
second
I
of the
did. You
day.
know what? I take that back. I take it back
Okay.
completely
So let's go back
because
in time.
let's
Time
go back in
travel.
time. Let's
Let's
go
go
back
back
in time.
10 years. Let's go back 10 years.
35-year-old Sara does not
Hmm.
doubt herself.
Okay. At all. Even
16
in
year
your
old
business,
Sara,
trying new things out? Trying new things out, new
no,
ventures?
occasionally it's not really doubt. It's more like a question of, is this the right move? I think this is right. And it comes down to following my intuition and falling
Okay.
back on my mission and my values. And that's what I do. If I'm questioning it, I fall back. Does this serve those people I want to serve? Right. And is it doing it with the values that I have, which are, I value people's time, I value people's money, and like I want to do it everything in an ethical way, right?
Okay.
So if I fall back on that, I can trust my decisions because I know that they're either checking these boxes or they're not.
Good.
But growing up as a child, very confident, as, I don't know, from when I was a kid to like 12, I was a little shy, but like confident. But then in
Mhm.
high school, oh my God, like high school, I don't know anyone
Mm.
that was super actually confident in high school. Maybe I projected that, but no, I was absolutely a people pleaser. Like absolutely a people pleaser, wanted people to like me, wanted to fit in, wanted to be seen as, like I said, this like perfect thing, right? So that because I am an overachiever and I want things to be perfect. College, same thing. Same thing in college. And just wanting to get attention and wanting to seek validation from others. Like, I think that was the big thing, is like finding my value in how other people perceived me. And I had some pretty traumatic stuff happen in college that made me realize, like, the way in which I perceive other people is actively going to hurt me if I decide that those people are who I'm putting my own value in. That was a weird way of saying, like, I had some shit happen in college that made me rethink everything. And
Wait,
when that happened,
just to clarify what you're saying. So you're saying that like you had to reassess how you were, is it the values that you were putting
yeah,
onto people, or how you
no, I
were
think
like
the value
how
of
you were
myself.
perceiving what their values were? You were
I
projecting what
think
you wanted them to
that,
be?
yes. So meaning like
Okay.
I found my own self-worth and my own value in if other people liked me. If other
Sure.
people liked
Sure.
me, I felt
Yeah.
good about myself. If those people didn't like me, it
Mm.
made me very anxious.
But when you don't have those clear
Until,
signs, yeah, then the
yes,
anxiety.
until this terrible traumatic thing happened in college and
Mhm.
I realized I can't be putting on this fake, I'm perfect, everything's fine. Like,
Yeah.
no, no more. Like, it was a very like
Good.
shift in my reality, which, was a terrible thing that happened, but turned into something great for me, right? In the sense that
More awareness.
more awareness, but also like I'm able to just have empathy for people in a different way. And I feel like the
Mm.
person I am now is more authentic and true to the person that I always was. But the world wasn't as serious of a place until it was, right? And so once that
Ooh,
happened, I found
that's a good
my
quote.
voice more instead of the voice that I thought other people wanted to hear. Because a lot of the times it was I would say what I thought you'd want to hear versus what I actually felt. You know what I mean? And so it was kind of like a chameleon in that way, where I, again, was just putting out there who I thought people wanted me to be instead of who I actually was. And so once I graduated from college, I start, doing more acting stuff, working on my own, doing all that stuff. It really, truly, like I was kind of in a trauma fog for years after that, probably like 8 years. And it wasn't until I started working in this hospitality job where I became a manager that I got to
Uh-huh.
start making my own decisions. I got to lead a team of people. And it was like the instincts I had in protecting those people were also the instincts that I found in protecting myself, and I found
Sure.
my voice. So that's the one thing. Like, as much as
Huh.
like corporate America was kind of like, ugh, like I truly am very grateful for that job because I had to make decisions every single day, and I had to say, this is what I think, and I'm standing by that. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it's like, if you are given the
For you.
opportunity to do that on a consistent basis, it becomes this thing where you then start to trust your own voice and you start to trust who you are and you start to trust your judgment and you start to trust your intuition and you start to realize like, hey, I actually know what I'm talking about. And now after years of doing that, have finally gotten to a place where it's like, I do trust myself now, and I am confident, and I don't doubt myself because I know who I am now. But so me saying like, yeah, I'm confident, I never blah, 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 not always the case. Not always the case. Like, it took a long time for me to get to a place where I feel comfortable with myself. And I feel like it wasn't until I turned 30. It was actually right when I turned 30 that I realized, oh my God, I'm waking up in this life that I have just let happen to me. And it was kind of like I said, like going on the river of life, and I wasn't making my own decisions. And I just woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, where am I? Is what it felt like. And so from that point on, I was like, I cannot let this river of life take me. I have to stand up and say, this is where I'm going, and this is what I want to do. And this is like, these decisions that I'm making are only going to propel me forward in the path that I want to take.
Wow.
So that it's like, yeah, it's like a long journey. It's been a long journey
That's
of getting
incredible.
to confidence, but my optimism has never waned. The optimism has always been there, like always. And I don't know if that's, again, because I'm an Aries and we're like constantly regenerating. That's the thing with Aries, because we're the first of the zodiac. And so it's like rebirth, right? It's like birth for us. Every day is a new day. We're constantly in the present.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well,
Moment
that's
to moment. Yeah. Moment to moment. I am literally like, I try my best to live in the moment. Like, I really do. And obviously we all have thoughts about the past. We have thoughts about the future, but I really, like, when I make decisions, I try to like think about how I'm feeling right now, and how I want to feel like in the future.
So when you look back at your 20s, because you said like 30 was that moment when you were like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay. So like, I wonder now, like at 35, are there parts of you from your 20s and from your childhood as well that you're actively, you see the triggers from the wounds from all those different times that in your day to day you have to deal with or you have to think about?
Yeah.
Are there things that you're actively working on?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And
Or
it's,
you're becoming aware of, I should say, which is the
yeah.
process of working on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, in this again, like, I think a lot of it comes back to Keith and I really have a very, just like we've talked about, just open conversation about the things we're going through, right? So it's like, if something will, like, I find myself triggered fairly often by things, right? And it's like not necessarily big things, but like maybe little things. Like maybe he, I don't know, says something to me thinking that it's just like an offhand comment, but I take it in a different way because my sister used to say this to me growing up, or whatever it is, right? But the thing that we like to do is we like to slow down and we like to examine things, right? Like, okay, am I actually upset? And like, take a breath, take a breather, step back and think like, am I actually upset about this? Or is this reminding me of this other thing? And that's why I'm having this reaction. And at least we're calling it something, we're aware of it now, so it has less power. And it feels less raw, right? Like, it feels less like you're poking the nerves and more like, okay, I can see that it's there, but it's not poking those nerves. And that's why I think everyone should go to therapy, because it's like you don't realize why you react in certain ways or why you do certain things. I mean, we have conversations all the time about like why maybe we react in certain ways or do certain things because of the way that we grew up or the things that happened to us throughout our lives, and like why are these things bringing up these emotions. And it's easier for us to do with each other because we're very sensitive to each other's emotions. Like, we're very like empathic with the way that we feel. So like, I know if I say something, if it upsets him or vice versa, and not because we're saying it, but because it's like, I feel it, like I just know. And so it's like, that helps a lot. But like, even with friends, like it's, you know, I just think having this open and vulnerable way, an honest way of speaking to people kindly and speaking to people with your truth, because I think that is kind a lot of the times, to like tell them truthfully what you're thinking. Like, I think that that's so huge. Like, I have a friend who, and I love her, but she knows this because I've told her, but she would oftentimes send me like these memes, like constantly. Like, instead of asking me like, oh, hey, how are you? Or hey, what's going on? Like, she would just send me meme after meme after meme. And it got to a point where I wasn't responding because I felt like I was a social media board and not like a friend. Right. And so I just had to tell her, because it was driving me nuts, and it was kind of driving a wedge in our relationship. I was just like, hey, so here's why I'm not responding. It's because, like, you know, you send me all these things and it kind of brings me down because I'm thinking this, that, and the other. And that could have gone many directions, right? It could have gone with her saying like, oh my God, Sarah, like, you're being so sensitive, like blah, blah, blah. She could have ghosted me. But no, she responded saying, hey, I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh, I'm reading back on my texts and I see why you'd see that and like why you're thinking that. Like, yeah, I'm going to try, like, I'll be better about like not doing that. And it's like, I think sometimes people are so afraid to like speak their truth because a lot of the times by the time we speak it, we're to a place where we are wounded and we react in a like biting way as opposed to like, hey, did you know this
Mm-hmm.
thing's happening? Like just making sure. But if you can't be honest and truthful with your friends, like, or with your relationships, then it's like, I don't know what the point is. Like sometimes. And that's just me. That's just like
Well,
I've
that's the
always
thing.
had that.
There is no point.
Yeah.
It's being reactive in a friendship or in a
Yes.
relationship and getting what you
Mm-hmm.
can get. And then, I mean, from my experience, because I've done a lot of not speaking my truth for a very long time, and
Yeah.
it becomes, I don't know, I think like I let myself live that life because I had this unconscious like lacking of self-worth of what relationships could be.
Yeah.
And then you start to learn, oh, this person wants to be here just because they want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to get anything out of this other than actually wanting to be here. Oh, well, what could they possibly? And then I would withdraw. But then it's like, oh, you don't have to withdraw. You can
Yeah.
begin to receive this energy. You can begin to see, like, oh, this person wasn't trying to get after you. You were showing up with a lot of triggers and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
baggage. But
Yeah.
you can clear that out and then present yourself. I feel like as soon as I started to present myself in an honest way, sharing my auroras, that kind of stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
my cousin's wife, like we were talking, and she's like, maybe we were talking like a couple months ago, and she's like, it's like I'm talking to an entirely different person
Mm-hmm.
than I knew years ago, and I'm like, that's incredible to hear because it's amazing how much you can hold on to and how that
Yeah.
can cloud, and then you become meme relationships,
Mm-hmm.
quips, jokes, whatever, but
Yeah.
the heart isn't shared, and if the heart's not being shared, like,
And it's like,
what
if
is
you
the
want to,
point?
yeah, unless the point is, okay, well, this person shares these things with me and that's good. I'm good with this relationship being over here, right? Because I think a lot of people too, like they have this sense that relationships are A or B, right? And it's like, no, we have circles. Like we have our circles of the people that know
Hmm.
us the most and are the closest with us and that we would ask the hardest questions of, and we would ask them for advice on the toughest things. And then we have the next one where it's like we might ask their advice on something difficult, but maybe we don't take it to heart. And then it's like I ask you for restaurant recommendations and what concert to go to. And I send you memes, like, or whatever it is, right? Like we can have these circles of relationships as long as we're
Hmm.
aware of what those relationships are to each other, right? It doesn't have to be named
Yeah.
necessarily, but it can't be that you're expecting this closeness with someone who has you out here or vice versa, you know?
Well, that's
It's like this
interesting. So it's,
balance.
you're putting, when you do that, you start putting all these expectations on
Mm-hmm.
everybody. But I think it's nice the way you described it. If like, the way you described it is like these different tiers. It's not what your expectations are of the relationships, but you know this is where there's like a symbiotic
It's like
relationship in a way. It's
boundaries,
a
kind of.
balance.
Yeah, and a
Oh, it's totally
balance.
boundaries.
Yeah. And
But
just
it's
like
like,
finding those people that are in your inner circle and you come to those people when you want to start a business and you don't know if it's going to work and so you don't want to put all your energy out, right? You go to those people. You don't go to the
yeah,
people out here. Like,
exactly. And you don't tell them. You keep it to
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and those relationships change and they grow and it's not like I'm actively thinking, well, this person's in this circle or that person's in that tier of a relationship. No, it's just more like having an honest look at it and being authentic and like putting your time and energy and effort into the people that are also doing the same for you and that are bringing positivity and truth and not toxic positivity, right? Like, but like actual real, like
Yeah.
faith in you and have your best intentions that are cheering you on if you succeed and like there to comfort you when you fail and like not the opposite. Like they aren't cheering you on when they're not cheering for your failure, you know? It's like those people that come to you and are, like I said, like you and my friend Brittany, I feel like specifically have this innate ability to cheer people on that I
Oh,
think not
that's
everybody
sweet.
has. Like you were so encouraging and like being encouraging is not, like, I don't think everybody is as encouraging as you are. So
Oh.
it's a gift.
I love being encouraging, and maybe I'm projecting because I need to encourage myself a little bit more sometimes, and I'm learning how to do that. But I guess when I see someone doing something, there's this part of me that's just like, I hope they know that they're being seen.
Yeah.
You know, because you could. It's so easy to just like, and like, I don't know. I try to not encourage someone if I'm not actually inspired by them. Like,
Yeah.
that was something a while ago. I was like, I don't know, like, I guess you start seeing all the same Facebook comments from the same people, and it's the same verbiage, and it's the same sort of things, and I'm like, but other people can have, like, wonderful comments, and, like, they put thought into it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
these are two different ways of being, and I don't want to fall into this energy of, like, just hitting the like because I have to, and just
Yeah.
responding because I have to. If I'm going to hop in and, like, show my excitement or enthusiasm or whatever, it's because it's actually there, and it might take me a little while
Yeah.
to get back to people, which, I think annoys people sometimes, but it's like, if Jordan is showing up for you, Jordan is showing up for you. I
Yeah.
joked
It's
about this
not a
too with Jordan.
robotic thing. Yeah.
It's not, and it's like, I joked about this in a different interview a couple days ago of, like, my uncle said this at a wedding to, like, one of his friends. It was his son who was getting married, and I was there, my cousin, and he was introducing me to one of his family friends or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, this is Jordan. Like, he's a Bianchi. They're great if you need to kill 6 hours." And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because, like, we don't pull up if we're not gonna be present.
Present. Yeah.
And,
And
like,
I
interested in the
love
people that
that.
are in front of us.
I genuinely love
Or
that because
interested.
again, like it's one of those things where it's like it's connection, right? Like you're connecting, you're not just I think it's so tough with like social media and cell phones and all of that to just be so automatic and robotic and unthoughtful
Yeah.
and like surface level, you're getting this amount of my energy, right? As opposed to like, hey, I'm actually going to look at you, listen to you and be present and actually give you my honest thoughts. And it's hard for people to be present, I think, and not just check out and not just zone out and not just do the on repeat thing. And I struggle with that sometimes too. Like Keith will be talking to me sometimes, but my mind, I get so distracted and I'm thinking so many different thoughts that I'll just respond robotically. And luckily he knows when I do that and he'll be like, hey, hello, like talking to you. And I'm like,
Give it
I
over
am sorry.
here.
What I literally, well, when I say to him, I'm like, wait, what did you just say? Like we've had a whole conversation for 2 minutes, but I have no idea what you've just said. Like, and it's so, I'm so
Yeah.
thankful that he is very patient with me when it comes to that because it's something I'm actively working on that like I want to be fully present. And like that was one of the things that this year I've decided is one of my like goals is to be present in as many ways as possible. And I think that means like shutting off the phone, giving someone my full attention. And it's like, it's
Yeah, I want to
tough.
hear about that. Like, the one thing that you two do is, like, you have the cutoff point, which I
Yeah.
think I think I talked to him about when he and I chatted. But it's like, I'm guilty of, like, I don't know if it's guilty because I like it, but it's like staying up super late and doing creative things at the late
Yeah.
hour. And I think sometimes it's fun, it's enthusiasm, but other times it's like, it's that self worth. It's I haven't done
Hmm.
enough, I haven't achieved enough, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Not having
Yeah.
that way of looking at, having the abundant mindset of, like, did I participate? Yes. Okay, great. That's fine. Like, you
Yeah.
did a great job. But I think that, like, having that cutoff is a very healthy thing, and you figured that out.
Yeah, well, we're figuring it out. It's one of those things that, because like I said, I have all of my energy put into this business because I love it so much. Like it energizes me. It's not draining my energy. It's not something where I'm like, ugh, I have to write this email. Oh, I have to get on this coaching call. Oh, I have to do this TikTok. Sometimes the actual filming of the TikToks gets a little like, ugh, because it's just like, I know I have to perform and put that energy out there and that's a little tiring. But for the most part, like I love doing what I'm doing. And so what happens is after, 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe it's 7, 8, 9, maybe I'm cooking, maybe we're watching something, maybe there's something that we're doing and
Hmm.
I'll be on there doing stuff. I'll be answering an email, I'll be answering a comment, I'll be doing stuff, I'll be working still. And he just brought
Yeah.
up recently, like one of the things that he wants is like, look, if we are doing this business and we're working for ourselves and we're doing something so that we can have more time, but we're not actually getting that time because we're working nonstop, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs, a
Mm,
lot of small business owners have. He said, then what's the point? And it just kind of brought
right.
me back to again, why? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I spending my time doing this? Is it just because I love doing it or is it because I love doing it? And I also want to be able to spend the time that I want with my loved ones. And that's my why. Like my true why, like my only why is because I want to spend time with my family and my friends and with Keith and be able to be fully present, to be able to go on vacations when we want, to be able to go see my sister and her kids and be able to go see my parents. And like, that's all I want. Like, because like I said, in COVID, I had this just like rude awakening of we are not promised tomorrow. We have no idea what's going to happen. And so we need to be taking every day and just appreciating it and like spending it how we want to spend it. And that's so hard. And I think that's what people want in life, is to be able to have their time as their own. And so many people don't have it. And that's another reason why I'm so passionate about it, is because I want people to be able to have what I have, which is this time freedom, and to be able to have this freedom of going and doing what I want to do when I want to do it, you know?
I love it.
Like that's
I'm
all I
sold.
want. It's one of those things, but it's like, right? Like, isn't
Zero
it great? And the
formula.
thing is, there's like, but there's not one path. And I think that's what trips people up, is they see all of these things online that are like, oh, if you do this, you can make X amount of money and have all your time back. You can work 2 hours a day and only, be making all this money. And it's like, no, like, it's not going to work for
Hmm.
everyone. And I really try very hard to like talk to people before they buy anything that I offer, because it's like, again, one of my values is I value people's money, because I have purchased a $3,000 course and I've purchased a $14 course. I was not disappointed with the $3,000. I was very disappointed with the $14. Like, I felt like, oh,
Oh,
that
that's
wasn't
not
worth
where I
my
was going. But that
$14.
was going.
Probably not where you think, right? But so
No.
it's like, even that little amount, this class, the 3,000, I learned so much. I learned everything about print on demand, everything about like my Etsy shops and all that. I learned so much from that course. It was absolutely worth it. The $14 course, I learned nothing from, and I wish I got my money back. And that feeling of like, ugh, like, you know how you feel when you buy something and you're just disappointed with it? Like, and you're
Yeah.
just like, I feel like I just wasted my money. And like, I feel like a fool. Like, I feel like I just got duped into
Hmm.
buying something that like I shouldn't have bought. It's a horrible feeling. I hate that feeling. And I don't want people who are already having struggles with money, or already trying to find this way to support themselves and get this time freedom. I don't ever want them to feel that way. Like, it's a horrible feeling, like to feel like you've just wasted your money when you're already struggling, or you're already like trying to make ends meet, or whatever it is. Like, that's a horrible feeling. And it makes me go back to when my mom paid thousands of dollars for that John Robert Power school that she took me to, which again,
Hmm.
I learned a lot from, I got a lot out of. I'm glad that I did it, but I just think back to that, how my mom was just trying to do something for me to help support me and like to make my life better. And it
Yeah.
was something where it's like, I feel like they were taking advantage of that and not really delivering on what. But it's tough, because I did get a really good agent out of it. So it's really hard for me to say that I didn't learn anything, because I got a great agent. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just
The
don't want
path
that
of it
feeling
all.
of regret, and that feeling of like, that you're trying to make a better life for yourself and people are taking advantage of you. It's just, that's gross to me. Like, it just makes me feel, ugh, you know?
Well, it's good. Like you're not doing that for others.
Yeah, then that's the
You're
whole
finding
point.
ways to nurture those relationships.
And again, like, to be able to shut off that at 5 o'clock, right? And to be able
Hmm.
to really just like say my why. It's because I know my why, and my why is that I want to be able to spend time with Keith and have these moments and really enjoy the present and really be present with him, and to be able to be present when I go and see my family, to be able to be with my nephew and my soon to be niece, and like, spend that time with them. And like, we went to, like I said, Arizona for a month in December, because we were able to take this time off and go
A
spend it with his
month. Who
family. A
forgets
whole
that?
month. We just went for a month,
Like
and we were like, let's go to Arizona. Okay. I worked maybe like an hour a week, maybe 2 hours a week, maybe.
but see,
And
it's
we
so
were,
cool for me to hear that. Like, and
yeah.
again, like I haven't been living under a rock, and I'm 30, and my perception was like, you either go and become a teacher, like my mom,
Hmm.
and you get the summers, or you have to love what you're doing because you're going to be doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Or you find ways to do that, and it's like,
You found
okay,
ways
well,
to
if
do
I'm
it.
not loving what I do all the time, even though I've put all this time into doing stuff and I thought I loved it, now I'm
Yeah.
trapped. I'm a prisoner. So like hearing the way that you talk about all this is teaching me that like you can find ways to use what you do and
Hmm.
find those different aspects and keep trying new things and make
Have you
money
seen,
and live
have you
your
seen,
life.
have you seen the girl on TikTok who makes clay octopus little figurines? Do you know what
No.
I'm talking about? Okay,
Oh,
I love following her.
I saw
She makes
crochet chickens the other day. That's where
so
I'm at.
she
I
makes
haven't maybe
these
made my
like
way there yet.
I love following her. I think it's so relaxing to watch this and it's so cute. But she makes these little like polymer clay octopus little figurine things, right?
I wonder if there's an
And if
octopus
you
on
were
this.
to
It's for
is it
like
really?
I know. I wonder if there's. It's like very like aquatic
It is.
themed,
But
like
it's
a
like
water
she
spirit.
had this thing that she liked doing, right? She liked making these octopus out of polymer clay. And she has found a way now to, she has like, I don't know how many followers, probably hundreds of thousands. She sells these on Etsy and they sell out within minutes. Like she can't even
I
release
bet.
multiple, but you know what I'm saying? Like she is
Can't keep up with it.
making money doing something that she loves. There's other people that you see like that stream
Hmm.
video games and do that, right? Like there's so many ways to like take your passion and because of the internet and because of TikTok and because of all of these like social media platforms, share that with enough people where you're going to find your people and you're going to find the people that like the things that you like and like, you know, the values that you have. And like, you're going to be able to share that with people. And there's a way to make money doing it. You just have to get creative. You have to problem solve and you have to like not give up if one thing doesn't work, but keep trying and figure out a way to make it work. Like she could have taken those polymer clays, like those little octopus, and put
Hmm.
them on Etsy as just like their own product, right? And maybe tried to like advertise them here or there, maybe put them on Pinterest, but maybe she couldn't have done that full time, you know? And because she was able to share it with so many people through her videos and like through this way in which she films it, like she can, I think she does it full time now. Like if she's not, she should be because she literally like has enough things. Like she could now teach people. She could sell a whole course on teaching other people how to make polymer clays, like things. She could teach people how to sell things on
Yeah.
Etsy. Like I think teaching people skills is something that I think a lot of us feel like, oh, but I'm not an expert, so I can't do it. But really, you just have to be one step ahead of the person you're trying to help. And then you can teach them something that will help them. And I think a lot of the times it comes back to that, well, but like, do you doubt yourself? Are you confident? Or do you have like that imposter syndrome where you don't think that what you have to offer is good enough? You know, but it's like, I really do think that so many of us have all of these skills and these things. Like you doing this podcast, you could teach somebody how to do this now. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I would have no idea how to do this. If I wanted to do a podcast, Jordan, and I was like, shoot, how do I connect the this, that, and the other? I'm going to ask you because I don't know, but you kind of do. So
Actually, I did have a friend reach out the other day about.
that's what I'm saying.
That's a good. That see, but I like the way that you talk about all these things because it's like it gets me thinking in new ways and helps me see my value of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know, like this thing. Okay, running a podcast isn't just like having a few questions. It's years of moving energy. Like I never wanted to be in front of the camera, and this might be
Yeah.
like a trend that we're gonna hear in every single interview. But like, I never thought it was gonna happen, and I think that that's why I stuck with directing and then was
Yeah.
making audio dramas, so I didn't have to hear myself and I didn't have
Yeah.
to see myself.
Or see
Because
yourself. Yeah.
I mean, so much of that stems from like I used to just twitch all the time. You know, I was just
Yeah.
be fidgeting, and I didn't. I thought that was just the way I was, and I didn't realize that it was just overwhelming anxiety
Yeah.
and being uncomfortable in every single freaking situation. So that
Yeah.
once I started to chip away at those things, and I still do here and there, but I don't know. I when I started filming myself playing the piano,
Yeah.
there was a
Which I
during
love
COVID.
those videos. I love that. I know
Oh,
exactly what
thank
you're talking
you.
about. I love those videos. Yeah.
I love them too. I mean, but I never thought I would go back to playing, and I remember one day I watched myself play something for quite a while, maybe when I was 27, 28.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there was no facial twitching happening at all.
Mm.
And I was just like bawling, you know, because then I was like, I arrived and I didn't even know it,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
It's like,
possible.
yeah. And it's like when you let go of those things a little bit, when you're like, it's like you have to kind of have this like, don't care attitude, right? Like, because I know
Yeah,
a lot of people that want to
totally.
start their businesses on TikTok and want to do this stuff. They want to do faceless marketing, which I understand for some people. Like, I ran into someone
I've
who
been
was
seeing
like, no, I
those. Yeah, they're
the faceless. I
fine.
know they can work. They
Yeah.
can work in some ways. They can work on Instagram really well. But it's
Mhm.
like I feel like I said to you before, people want to buy something from people that they know, like, and trust. So you're going to have a shorter distance to cross selling someone something if they get to know you and they see you and they like you
That's a
and
good
they
point.
trust you, right? So it's like if you can put your authentic self out there and and just be encouraged by other people that are doing it, and know that you're probably going to get trolls. My most popular video, the one of that chair, this chair, has like 2 million views. I have so
Yeah.
many hate comments on that. Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
go read
great.
the
I love
comments.
it. I
There's
love it.
so
What do
many
they say?
people. Oh, well, okay. So what I said in the video was something like, the makers of that crisscross
Eating my
chair listened and they gave us one that's smaller and has wheels. Because the big thing people wanted with that crisscross chair was wheels. Everyone was like, I'd buy it if it has wheels. I'd buy it if it has wheels. Well, they made another chair and it does have wheels, and you can crisscross your legs, but probably only if you're a certain size. So if you're
Oh, it's
smaller,
funny.
you
I
can
just
do
started doing
it.
that in my
I do
chair
it all
right
the time. I
now.
love crisscrossing my legs. But so a lot of people made comments about like, oh, you can only do that if you're skinny, or like, yeah, it must be easy for someone skinny like you, or nobody wanted
Oh
that. We didn't
man.
want smaller. We just wanted wheels, like just whatever they want to say. And I just like, having the confidence I have now, I'm fine with it, because I'm like, hey, thanks for boosting my algorithm. Great. Like that video has 2 million views. Like, thank you. And
More
I've
than
made a
that.
ton
Wasn't
of
it
money on that
2.5 or
video.
something?
I think so. I've made so much money on that video that I'm also like, you know what? Like, thank you for
Who
helping me make
cares?
money on mine. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every comment, whether or not it's like negative or positive, like it's
It
gonna
helps.
boost my algorithm. So, but I could understand where like some me in college or me in high school would probably have been like, oh my god, people don't like me. And so that's what I mean when I say
Mm.
like you have to have this like I don't care attitude. I've seen people start new TikToks and they post their very first video, and some troll will come in there and be like, no one cares, get off the internet, or whatever. Like they're just mean. Like some people are just sad and like are taking it out
Yeah.
on other people, and they're just trolls, right? And
Well,
that's just a
that's
part of
why
being
it's.
online.
But that's why it's like. I hear the discussion a lot about like, should I go to art school? Should I go to film school? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, there is, if a department is doing something, and if it's doing it in the right way, which is protecting the young artist, because the young artist has so much potential. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
all do, but like so much energy and so much excitement. And if that is
Yeah.
not shaped in a very delicate, in a very meticulous way, because it's a very delicate bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
That artist will shut down. And that's why I think
Funny
you
you
need to
say
go
that.
away for school. Yeah, I mean, you need to go away. You need to not be around your family all the time. You need to try
Mm-hmm.
new things. You need to be around different people. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm just like, yes, it's important for people to like shoot content and to like create their own lives online. And I think that it's fabulous that we can do that. I mean, you know, you're in LA and I'm in Buffalo, like, and we can
Mm-hmm.
do this. How
Yeah.
amazing. Like we're moving so much energy and it's just such a great vibe. But we're older, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that like someone who can't regulate themselves
Mm-hmm.
just going and posting stuff. That's a very
Vulnerable
dangerous
thing
thing
to
that can
do.
shut
Yeah.
down it can shut down your emotional body.
Yeah.
I would think it's shutting down permanently a lot of people's
Yeah.
emotional
And I
bodies.
think a lot of people are, yeah, getting into depression and having just mental health struggles because of that, right? Because again, if you're in your 20s and you're finding your validation through other people, like I was, it's something
People they
that's
don't
like,
even
it's
know.
difficult and they don't even know that. Again, like until I was 30 years old, I feel like I was not like emotionally safe, or like I didn't have my boundaries up and I didn't make decisions for myself. So I can't imagine putting myself out there the way I do now in my 20s without those protections. Like that's insane.
You're
Like
a rock star,
that
man.
would wait. But I mean,
You're
like
a rock star.
I literally can't
That's
imagine doing it.
incredible.
And it's like I see people doing it. I'm like, how
Yeah.
are you doing that? Like that's crazy. But it's funny you say like that you're, in a different state. But I literally there's two people I was working with this week. One of them she's in South Africa. The other one she's in the UK, and we're all like talking
Oh
back
my
and
God.
forth to each other. And it's like it's global. Like you can literally connect with anyone, and you can find your people. Like you can find
Aw.
your people. But that being said, I think what you bring up is really important too, that like you also do have to protect your mental health, and you have to do like what's right for you, and do not like push past it just because you have this end goal in mind of, oh, I have to do this because I have to have the time
Yeah.
freedom and I have to have the money and I have to have this. Like, do not do it. Like, give yourself the space to heal and grow and get to a place. And maybe you don't come back to it in the same way that you did that one time. Maybe you do faceless marketing. Maybe you just go on Pinterest. Like there's so many
Yeah.
ways, and people think there's only one because they see someone doing it this way. So like I said, I have to be like this person and do it this way. but you are not that person. And the way that you come across might not be the same way that person comes across. And the people that are going to be your people aren't going to be the people that are my people. And you're going to find the people that are right for you. And that's why I think there's not this like competitive competition thing. Like if I'm selling the same thing as another person,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to choose one of us to buy from for whatever reason. And somebody else is going to do the opposite. Like this competition thing, like, I just don't think, I don't know. I just don't know that it exists in my brain. Like, I don't
Well, it's
see it.
because you're seeing the love. I mean, you're getting something out of this that a lot of like businessmen and women like
Yeah.
don't get. You only get that by beating out other people and being competitive in that
Yeah.
way. And that's just this victor mind. It becomes like a victor victim thing of like, if I'm not on top,
Yes. Yes. Then
I'm
I'm on the
lost.
bottom. Yeah.
And like
Or
that
even
is
like
just not
it's
a
a
healthy way to
scarcity
live.
mindset. It's really a scarcity mindset where
Yeah.
it's like there's not enough for all of us. And I just don't think that's true. But I will say the thing that helped me with that was I forgot to tell you this, but back in June. So like I said, I was trying to do all of these different side hustles and like making money here, making money there. And but it wasn't enough to sustain anything, right?
Mm.
I think it was June 4th. I found this woman on TikTok and she's a hypnotherapist, right? She's a licensed hypnotherapist. And she was like, I'm going to like hypnotize you to like make money or like find abundance or like become financially secure. And I was like,
Cool.
okay, I'll try it. And so I closed my eyes, I listened to the hypnosis, and I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. The next morning, I wake up and I see this woman talking about this course about digital marketing and starting your own business and doing these things. And I was like, I could do that. Yeah, okay. And I swear to you, I truly think it's because subconsciously in my mind, I believed that it could work for me because of what I had in that hypnotherapy session and because it like kind of smoothed out some ruts that I had. And it smoothed out this
Cool.
idea that, oh, that's just another person trying to sell her. Oh, it's not going to work for me, but it works for her. It's not going to work for me. And there was no longer a scarcity mindset, but an abundance. Like, why not? Why can't it work for me? Like, why can't I have all these things? Like, why can't I do this stuff? Right. And so I
You
had
can.
this like open mind, and that optimism I felt like was able to shine through because subconsciously it was there that I was
Mm.
going to succeed in this, that it was going to work. And I kept listening to her. She had a couple other like hypnotherapy things that I kept listening to. And it was honestly like, if ever I'm feeling doubt or if ever I'm feeling like, ooh, but what if this doesn't work? I'll just listen to one of those and I honestly will feel so much better because it's like, it just gives me this calm, even if I mentally on the surface am having doubts and questions, subconsciously, I will still have that optimism and this belief that everything's going to work out.
Well, that's interesting. So it's like the optimism is there, and that's a resource that you've always had, but it seems
Mm-hmm.
like it's that varying levels of embodying the optimism.
Yeah.
And how
Mm-hmm.
much of it are you actually holding on to in your day to day?
Well, and how much do I have for other people versus myself, right? Like I'm very much a
Ooh.
champion and cheerleader for other people, but sometimes
Hmm.
when it comes to myself, it's like, do I talk to myself the way I would talk to my friends and the way I would talk to my
Mm.
family? Do I lift myself up the way that I'm lifting them up? Or am I a lot harder on myself, right? Am
Yeah.
I talking
Are
negatively to
you?
myself? Not anymore. No. Again,
Okay,
maybe
that's
I
good.
was like, I
Was there a
genuinely like,
dialogue that you had to
no. Again, I have this like perfectionist mindset, like, and I just want to, like, I have to do well. I hold a very high standard for myself, right? If I'm putting anything out there, if I'm doing anything for myself and it's got my name on it, it has to be perfect. And obviously, like, nobody's perfect. Like, nothing's going to be perfect. Like, I'm going to send an email that like has a typo in it or whatever. And I think I've always been struggling to fight that a little bit, right? And it's been kind of like a back and forth because I'm good about talking to myself like out loud. Like if I say something negative to myself, being like, nope, we're not doing that. Like, you stop talking like that to yourself and like having this conversation with myself, right? But I
yeah.
truly feel like since the hypnotherapy stuff, it's been less of an out loud conversation and more of a just like, I'm not listening to that. And it just goes away. Like it's just something that it doesn't, that
That's
doubt leaves me a
fantastic.
little bit more easily. I highly suggest like checking out hypnotherapy with like someone that you trust and someone
I
that you
would
like
love to.
because I'll send you her. It's Hypnosis with Teresa. A little shout out. She's great. Love her. But I honestly like her
Have you
stuff
gone
is
back?
very. It's. Am I
Excuse
say it
me.
again?
Have you gone back?
Oh
Or
yeah,
you just
I
did the
watch
one?
her stuff all the time. I think got her. She has like a 21-day like hypnosis for success. And again, here's
Oh,
someone who's a hypnotherapist finding a way to monetize it online, but she's offering something for people that they want and that they need and that serve them, right? Because I think a
yeah.
lot of the times people think like, oh, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to sell something. Like that's gross and icky. But it's like if you're not thinking in terms of selling and you're thinking in terms of sharing and helping and serving, like we
Hmm.
sell things to people all the time. Like if you want to talk about a TV show or an album or something that you love, you're selling it to your friends because you believe in it and you are like so excited about it. You're sharing that excitement. It's exactly the same thing when you're selling something. It's like
Well,
if
it's exactly
somebody's,
the same thing as like an actor. Like you're
yeah,
selling the script. They're not your values. They're the values of
yeah,
the character. And so you're trying
yeah.
to sell this person to us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I just think people have this like negative mindset around selling something. They feel gross about it because they've seen people do it in an unethical way, in a way that is icky, because they get that $14 course that they shouldn't have bought because it's not even very good.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, it's just like we have this negative connotation that we're not supposed to sell and that we're not supposed to draw attention to ourselves, I think, and have like the spotlight on us and say like, I'm awesome. You know what I mean? And that's something where I've really been practicing talking to myself in a positive way. And it sounds conceited and it sounds egotistical and it sounds, I think I think if you're judging it, that's how it's going to sound. But I have
Yeah.
found that I like talking to myself in a positive way. If I'm wearing jeans that I think look cute, I'm saying out loud to Keith, "Oh my god, I look so cute in these jeans. Like look how cute these jeans are."
Good for you.
And I'm
That's
lucky that
fantastic.
he supports me in talking good about myself. Or, "Oh my god, did you see that video? Like I love that video
You
I
need to
just posted.
hear it.
I'm really happy with that." Or, "Look at this email I just wrote." Like I'm trying to actively out loud say good things about myself because I feel like that just reinforces that positivity and that confidence and that, you know.
Hmm.
But again, that's not
I
easy
need to
for
do a bit of
everybody.
that. I need
You
to
should. You pat
have
yourself
those
on that
call outs.
back.
Well, I was, yeah, like, but for things that like I'm not even like doing, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
things that you just see, yeah, like the way like clothes around you, or the way your hair is, the
Yeah.
way that like I don't know,
The little things. Because again,
the
I'm
little things.
35. I weigh more than I've ever weighed. I have more wrinkles than I've ever had. Like, and I'm trying to fight that negative voice by just not giving
Hmm.
her any credence and instead overpowering her with some positivity. Right?
Hmm.
Like, it's okay. Like, you don't, like, nobody's perfect and you're not supposed to be perfect. We're human. And that's what makes us so beautiful and
Yeah.
amazing. It's every single, I see the wrinkles on my face, like under my eyes, and I'm like, those are from smiles. Those are from because I've smiled and had so many good like experiences, and like I'm
I'm getting
here and I'm
them. I'm getting
alive.
them.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm like, let's get this light a little brighter. But again, it's like, I just think loving yourself is so important and so hard when it's like, it's like we're constantly growing, right? So it's that difference between being
Yeah.
critical of ourselves and being in this growth mindset of we're constantly always growing and becoming a better version of ourselves. That's the goal, right? Is to become the best version of ourselves.
I
But
think
there's no
it's
best,
that,
it's just
but
better.
it's I don't know. I feel like it is becoming a better version of yourself. I don't know. I feel like it's that we're trying to become who we were when we were kids before any of the
Yeah.
societal expectations happened.
Yes,
So
I
it's like
love that.
we're returning, we're being reborn.
Reborn. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know.
Ooh,
It's the theme.
there you
I
go,
love
the theme
it.
of the episode. I
I
gotta start
love
naming
it.
these episodes.
Rebirth, reborn, phoenix
Rebirth,
rising. I don't know.
rebirth with Sarah. So okay,
Something, but
so we
like,
gotta have more of these chats because I feel
yeah, I
like,
agree.
oh my gosh, we could talk for like hours and hours
I
and hours.
know. And I
Dude,
feel so energized every time I talk to you, Jordan, like truly. And that's what I mean is
I
like
do
when you
too.
find people that help energize you, like hold on to that and
Well,
make the
this is
time.
something that we should talk about, like, before we wrap this episode, because I want to try to keep it under 2 hours. But like, we should we should schedule this another one like
Yeah, we
right
should.
away. But one of those things of like when I was in my ghost era, 2017, and that's when I was like
Hmm.
trying to like write, and it was this realization of like I can't get these bigger films made. And I wasn't ready to like admit it, but I was also just at this place where I couldn't emotionally hold on to leading big teams anymore and doing all this
Hmm.
stuff. And I needed to find myself, which was great. But I was starting to write, and that's when, I did that first audio drama with Keith.
Hmm.
But that's around the time that I started writing The Midnight Hearth, and when I started giving you the scripts and you were performing for me.
Mm,
And, you know, whatever ends up happening with that, like we're still writing it all the time. I have like a
yeah.
deadline pretty like in the next day that I have to get more stuff in. But um you were the reason that I kept pursuing it
Mm,
because being able to like hear the character's voice and
mm.
I got to direct a little, which you let me do, which was
I
so
loved.
nice,
Yeah,
so
I love
sweet.
that.
But it was just like you were that beacon of light in that time
Mm,
that someone wanted to collaborate. Someone wanted to say the words that I was writing. And that was
yeah.
such an important thing for me because I literally remember like every script I was writing was, can you afford this? Can you get these people? And then it was like, yes, no, yes, no. And so it
Yeah.
was like, you literally just have to put words on the page that you want. And for
Yeah.
me it was like writing a whole list of like 200 things that were just funny and quirky and different and find a way to make it work. So
Hmm.
for you to show up and create this character, like that has sustained me since
That's so cool.
2017.
I had no idea. First of all, I did not
What is
know
it,
that.
2024? That
And
has sustained me.
that's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
So
And that's, but
that's
you
what
know
it
what?
did.
But you never know. Like those things, like, that you do and the collaborations you have and these projects, and like you never know what it means to somebody else. And that's something
Mhm.
that I've held with me my whole life. I've always thought that like you never know the like little things that you do that might make a huge impact on someone, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like if you're putting yourself out there and doing your best to like share your authentic self, like I think you're going to find those people that just create this magic of like the creations that we make, right? Like it's magic to me. Like I truly think it is.
It is
And it's like,
magic.
it's big universe stuff that's like bringing us together and like making these things happen, that we're creating things. Like to create something, like that's magic. And I just think it's so cool.
And that's, I have to remind myself that like creation is a conversation. It's the fact that we're having a chat right now and we set this up
Yeah.
and we're doing that. Like that's equally as luminous as, writing a story and making something
Yeah.
that's in fiction. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all drawing on the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully. And I feel like that's the journey for me is like if I'm showing up creatively, like it's got to be from that same place.
Yeah. I love that.
It's
I think that's
nourishing.
important though. I think it's important, like, again, to have the creativity and the creation come first. Because I think a lot of the times people have, like I said, that scarcity mindset of, oh my God, but what if no one listens? And oh my gosh, what if nobody sees this video or this TikTok that I post? And it's like, if you come at it from a fearful mindset, it's not going to be the art that you want it to be, right? Like that
Yeah.
fear, you have to be brave. So it's like, even if you are a little afraid of things, you have to do it anyway. And like do your best and bring your best anyway.
And that's hard. I mean, even like last night, I was. What was the deal? What was the thing? It was like the fear of letting go of things because like, you're afraid of where you're going to go.
Mm.
And when you're at that place, it's like, like we have these fears, whether they're conscious or they're not, of like who you're going to be there and what you're going to experience. And I was like, what's the fear of me from, what's the fear of like writing, getting a lot of these big projects done? And I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
closer than I've ever been, but there are still blocks. And it's like, so there's a fear of being at that place. So what is the fear of at that place? And it's like, well, the fear is getting to that place. And again, it's like, what if you lost you all the time and the energy and all the things and like you lose you lose by being there. You lost time, resources, you're a lie to yourself. And it's like, but has that ever been true
Mm-hmm.
for any of the things that mattered? No, even the things that I perceived as losses were not losses.
We're
It was
not.
just me judging it.
It's again, it's also
So
that time sunk fallacy, right? Like that cost, whatever it's called. It's like you think that it's a waste, but really it brought you to where you are now. So it's like it's never a waste. Like you learn, even like I said, even the bad things that happen in our lives, like you can turn every experience into something. Like, does that mean that bad thing was supposed to happen? No. But you can take that bad thing and turn it into something good, or at least something useful. right? Or I don't know, just learn from it even and do better going forward. Like, I just think there's so much to be taken. And it's like, oftentimes we think that it's a waste. And you've probably talked to Keith about that, right? Like time and wasting time, because he has a
Oh
big thing about
yeah.
time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's something
We
that
talk about that a
he,
lot.
yeah. Yeah. He's got a big thing about like not wanting to waste a single moment and like the time. And it's like, we only have so much time. And, but it comes from, I think, a place of anxiety, right? As opposed to like, hey, this time that we have is a gift. So let's be present and let's spend it in the best way we can. You know, in the way, even if we think, like, we have to trust our instincts and use our time how we think is going to be the best way, but we never know. Like, and I think that comes down to trying to control things, right? And like trying to control the outcome of things that you have no control over. Like, it's just an illusion. Like, you think that you can control, like, I put this video out tomorrow. I think it's going to hit 5,000 views. I have no control over that. Maybe TikTok will crash. Maybe TikTok won't upload my video. Maybe, you know, my account will get suspended. Who knows? Like, you know, but you just have to do the best you can with the information you have and trust your instincts. But it's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah. And know that, like, I don't know, people will show up to help.
Yeah, 100%. And don't live in a bubble by yourself, you know, unless you need that for like peace and time. But like, people will help. People will. Like, if you have people in your life that you can ask for help, like, I truly think that they will show up for you. The people that are your actual friends and the people that are there for you will show up. Like, for
People
sure.
want people to grow that have done the growing. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like once you're on a path of saying out loud, I want to better myself. I want to grow. I want to reach for that thing. Like I've seen it, but I haven't reached for it. And now I want to. There are people around wherever you
Yeah.
are that have reached for certain things
And people that
and they
support
want
you
to
that
help
you
out.
don't even realize are supporting you. Like, even on social media, right? Like, there's been people who have reached out to me about like certain things and have been just so supportive. And I'm like, I haven't heard from you in like years. Like, that's so nice. And like doing what
No.
you do, which is being present in the comments and really actually seeing and listening. And like, that means so much to me when people do that, because I try to do that for the people in my life too. Like, if I see someone trying something new and trying this new venture, I really try to support that, because you never know, like, if they have other people in their life that do that for them, you know,
Yeah.
and that
And
show
like
up in
you
a
said,
present
they
way.
a lot of times don't.
A lot of times don't.
Yeah.
So you just never know. Full circle, you
Well,
never know what someone
I
else is
hope,
going through. So
well, hopefully, people can learn a lot as I'm learning from you through
yeah,
the releasing of this. I mean, that's the whole goal, right? That like
yeah,
by having these conversations and not having it be like, I mean, there is a benefit to the 20-second reel, and the quick little thing of optimism and excitement and passion and all those, type of things. It can, over time, I think it can help program a lot of good ideas. But I feel like there's value in like two people sitting down for 2 hours. Well, three, because we talked for an hour before this,
yeah,
having fun. But like there is such a value in someone being able to just hear a long form conversation
yeah,
and see the ebbs and flows and where it goes and everything, because we need to have more of these conversations. I know that
yeah.
like in the periods of my life where it was tricky and difficult, the conversations weren't happening. But then now they're starting to, so
Yay!
a lot of great
I'm
things are
glad.
coming forward.
I know,
So
and I love it. And even if the
we're
only
doing
good thing
good.
that comes out of this is our conversation, then I'm happy too.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
do. I think
I
you're right,
know.
though.
That's the
Like, I
thing.
think
Like
it will. Yeah.
it's got to be as nourishing for the people who are having the chats as
Yeah, I
the
love
work
that.
as
I'm
a
so
whole.
excited for you, Jordan. Truly, like, I'm really excited for this
Dude,
project. I can't wait to hear the other interviews and keep up the good
thanks for
work,
being a
because
part of
I'm
it.
really excited. Oh my gosh, yeah,
Thank you for like
anytime.
sharing so much. So okay, speaking of sharing, like share with us like where people can follow you. Like
Oh
how
gosh.
can how can they connect with you?
So I
Because
have a
they're gonna want
lot.
to.
I have a
You
lot
all
of
need to
social media
connect.
accounts. I
Okay,
have a
well
lot of social media accounts.
where should they start?
My main one is going to be on TikTok, and it's Busy Bee Sarah. So Busy, BussyBeesara. There's a lot of fake accounts, like a lot of like impersonation accounts. So just go with the one that is just Busy Bee Sarah. Maybe you can link it. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
And then
I'll
I
put the link
also
in.
I'm on Instagram too, but I honestly don't do much on Instagram. I'm on my personal Instagram a lot, but I would say start with TikTok, Busy Bee Sarah, and I check my messages. So if anyone has questions or wants advice on, anything that I've talked about, literally anything, let me know.
Love it. Love it. Social media, also like
Yeah.
ways to like support yourself,
I have
craft your
found so
life.
many genuine friends on TikTok, like people that I talk to like on a weekly basis, like we share updates about like what's going on in our lives. Like it's kind of crazy how you can actually find your people like through the internet. Like it happens more often than you'd think. So
There you go.
it's been fun. It's been really fun meeting people.
Well, I hope people reach out to you.
Yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
having
so
me,
much.
Jordan. This was
Thank you
so
so much.
fun.
Can't wait to have
Yeah.
you back.
Yay, I know. I can't wait.